All right, my friends, it is time. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome, everyone. I hope everyone is well. And yeah, let me know if the music is too loud. You're probably gonna say it's too loud. I'll turn it down a little bit. I will wait for Gabriel to tune in. And you know, if he's complaining about the music, we know it's perfect. Just joking. Just kidding. Welcome, guys. So we have quite a scenario. You know, the people who has been with Neural for months now have seen this before, and this is the kind of stuff that you start to notice once you step outside of the usual box of trading, right? Like what you have noticed is that we had this strong trend come in. And you know, we had multiple great markets to trade. We made a lot of money. It was all good, and then it went away, right? Okay, Cuba says the music is too loud. Ryan says the music is good, but I should stop talking. Okay, some wants the music louder. Gabriel says it's a bit too loud. Indeed, that means it's perfect. It's perfect. It's just where it should be. All right, it's very good. So as you guys saw, we had these, like, let's go have a look at, where's Euro USD? It's a pretty good pair. You know, we've really been focusing a lot on Euro USD for the back test and for the bot. Let's pull it up. Let's see here. You can see I got a little bit of drawings here, but let's just kill them for now. So yeah, welcome to the live stream, guys. I'm gonna do a mention of your names in a little bit. All right. Okay, let's have a look. Here we are, 1 hour. Actually, let's go for 4 hour. It's giving us a little bit. Let's do 12 hour. All right, so what we have here is, this is actually the old RTD, right? So what you're seeing here is the old RTD. So that means that the new RTD would be quicker than, you know, what you see here. So instead of like stopping the trend here, it will stop the trend here in the newer version. But this is the old version. It's good for visualization. And what we have had, you know, really since the early week of July is that we had this really strong drive, which was really just the, you know, the US dollar. You know, it's the same thing, right? Early July, we just had this big dump. How much is that? 103 all the way down to 99.55. So that's a big drive, right? And we had this, and now we had the response of it. You know, so we had the drive, we had the tail effect, and now we're here, right? So, you know, these two things are identical, right? When we look at these, right, it's the same thing happening, right? So let's put this on 12 hours as well. So actually one day was better for this, right? So going into July, we had this big weakness in the dollar index, which proved an opportunity for the markets, right? We had this rally, and that was really good. It was great. You know, we had multiple markets trending really well. We made a ton of money. It was happy times, right? And this the point of this is that how did the bot handle this, right? So the bot did great. The bot traded this entire period and even some of this up here, and it was just great. Phenomenal results. You saw it yourself. You can go back, look at the previous live streams. You can see the P&L. Everything is great. So where is the issues, right? Well, at that time, we weren't really too focused on the trend transitions. And this is really what we needed to fix to be able to give you guys a build. What I learned from last week with the winners from last week, what I learned was that it had to be a much more plug and play solution than, maybe what I was expecting, meaning that we had to do a little bit more work to just make it like a nice package that you can just install and it runs. Whereas before that, it was kind of like, okay, well, you got to manage, different markets, you got to move the bot around and so on. And that's also fine. But, it became pretty clear to me if we're going to scale this thing, if we're going to send this out and if it has to work for people, then, it really has to just be set and forget. Right? So to do that, we had some very intensive back test. We had some very intensive back test, and we learned a lot from this, right? We learned like, where do we make a lot of money? Where do we make a lot of money? Where do we lose? And how do we go about this? So it turned out we made a lot of money here. We also made good money here. But where we started not to lose, but to take risk, unnecessary risk. And whenever we are taking risk, you have to remember, when we take risk, meaning that if we buy here, here, and here all the way down, and we're sitting in drawdown down here, that risk has to be built in to the bot itself, so it can handle that risk without getting a margin call or getting stopped out, right? So that became the problem, because we wanted to maximize profits during this period of time, right? We wanted to maximize profit while it was in this drive, and while it's up here. And at the same time, we wanted to keep risk low. So even though we got something like this, we could still absorb it. But you can't have both. You can't do, well, you can, but we couldn't before. So in reality, the problem became that the strategy was working, it was good, but the trend detection that was detecting when to stop trading was a little faulty. So what did we do? Well, what we did is something I talked about a few weeks ago. We really looked as a whole on the market, and maybe you remember I spoke to you about this, which is that on all time frames, whether it's daily, 4 hour, 1 minute, whatever, it's always the same thing happening, which is you have a drive, you have a capitulation, and then you have a tail effect. All right, so let me say that again. You have a drive, you have a capitulation, and then you have a tail effect. And then you have a drive, have a capitulation, you have a tail effect. Drive, capitulation, tail effect. Drive, capitulation, tail effect. Drive, capitulation, tail effect. Again and again and again and again, right? So before we were just taking the strategy, the new strategy, and just applying it regardless of which state that the market's in. So if it's in capitulation or it's in tail, we'll still use the same strategy. So this is where we got a little bit smarter. We was like, okay, hey, we want to trade the tail. We also want to trade the drive, but to approach these two stages of the market, these two states of the market, we need two or three different strategies for that. We cannot just apply, we can't just apply the same strategy, across the whole thing. You can do this, it's fine, but if you want to get the best results possible, if you want to, if you want to ship a product that you really know is not going to cause any problems for people, you really got to detail the bot into trading in these stages of drive, capitulation, tail effect. So that's what we've done. So right now what we have finished and that we're going to launch is the drive, which means that the bot is now trading this here extremely well. And as soon as this drive is over, meaning that as soon as, this aggressive drive is over, it moves, it either has capitulated or it will go to capitulate. Because a lot of times when you have a market like this, it's not just gonna capitulate right away. So a lot of times when we're looking at these tops, right, this is really a capitulation. You either have, you know, one of two. Either you have a capitulation where it's just like a straight top like this. Let me see if I can find an example where you have like this. This is a good capitulation event where it's a single drive down and then it just moves. But other times, you know, other times you will have a top like here, and then the market will continue a little bit until it creates its top, right? So what we built now is we have really good technology deployed now to detect, you know, what is happening when and when to stop trading, right? So now what we're gonna release is that the bot will trade the drive in the initial release, and then in the coming updates we'll add the capitulation, we'll add the tail, and these are essentially different strategies. They inherently their own strategy, and the cool thing is we know exactly how to go about it. We just need more time. So that's the news. The news that we have learned a lot in these past few weeks. I'm very, very happy that we haven't rushed any product or shipped it out to you guys too early or something. I want to make sure when you guys download this, it just runs out of the box. I want to make sure when I go to sleep at night that I know that the agent or the bot that you're running on your computer is not going to be taking trades that might go into like deep drawdown, but it will only be taking trades when we are really, really confident of what the market is doing. And I think this is very important because I don't want people to be taking risky trades in the beginning. I'd much rather have less trades, but much higher quality trades than as many trades as possible. So that is the state. So why don't we go ahead, fire up the bot for today. So we have EuroCHF running, and we will turn it on and we'll watch it a little bit. Okay, and yeah, welcome to the live stream, guys. If you're just tuning in now, we got Sumto Chicken, Tracy Bone, Anton, Kai, and Toby Hammond, Nanamini, PK, and Albert, and Curry Jim, Daniel, the Lutsu, and Emil, and Warren, and Vida, and Jesus Christ, Kian Sang, and Martin, and Cuba, and David Loas is here, and Ryan, and John Murray, and Gabriel, and JS, and Jesus Christ. You know what? I'm gonna make a script. I'm gonna make a script that reads up. I'm turning into like a live stream. They have these, you know, these live stream guys, they have these like announcements of people. You know, they can write like a message something and they get featured in the chat. Yeah, we'll do something like that pretty soon. Okay. Let's see, what is this thing? Oh, I didn't. There we go. That should do it. That should do it. All right, and Dixon and Thomas and the rest and everyone else joining us, welcome to the live stream, guys. So, what does this mean? Well, to me, it means that we're ready, essentially. Okay, we're ready. We're ready to push out. We're ready to push out Neo Agent. You know, it's when we do these things, it's never just, you know, build the bot and launch the bot. It's like, you know, there's so many things we need to do right. Like, first of all, we need to make sure that people cannot just copy the bot. You know, they cannot reverse engineer the bot. We have to make sure that people can't cheat, that we have an authentication system. You know, we need setup videos. We need, you know, to build it into Navigator, need to integrate it with people's subscriptions and you know, fraud control, all kind of stuff, you know. So one thing is building the product. Another thing is actually, you know, making it scale and make sure that we can deploy this to tens of thousands of users, you know, and it can scale this way. That is the real challenge here. If we just wanted to build the strategy and the bot and give it to you, we could have done that weeks ago. But what we need to do, is we need to also protect ourselves, and we need to make sure that everyone has a good experience. We need to make sure that no one can, attack our bot. So, somehow our network goes down and people can't trade anymore. There's so many things we need to do right and make sure it's working as it should. So, Paolo asks, when is the release date? Yeah, it's a good question. When is the release date? I mean, it's soon. It's very soon. It's very soon. I think you guys are gonna wake up one morning in the very near future, and you can just go to Navigator and you can just download. The Neo agent, plug it in, you're ready to go. All right. So that's gonna happen very soon. My priority here is just to get it out to you guys. And yeah, we're close to that. It's hard. It's hard building universal. Why is the button running? Hang on. Well, it is. It's just. All right, here we go. I'm sorry, I had to. It is running. All good. Guys, I promise you, we're working as hard as we can. I have, with my engineers, I have like a whip, and I'm like, shh, every morning I'm just like, let's get to work, boys. It's time, no. But, we're doing as fast as we can. We're doing it as fast as we can. I mean, the risk here does look a little elevated, so we can try to adjust that. So what about the use of VPS? Well, here's what's gonna happen. When we launched Nero, and I'm not sure, look, you guys know how it is. We work hard for a product, we launch it, there's like a launch offer and so on. What we're also doing right now is transforming breakfreetrading.com so that it becomes like a very, very smooth setup and order process. And here you'll be able to order a Nero agent, you'll be able to order a VPS, you'll be able to order setup help, all kind of things that you need to do what you need to do. I do think that we probably will launch the Nero agent before this campaign actually goes live, so you will get it before we even start selling it like officially. Okay, so maybe like a day or 2 days earlier than that, you will have access to it before it officially launches. For every like, the bot comes out 1 hour sooner. So the VPS, yeah, here's the thing. Maybe I can just show you guys. I don't know. But basically, you can run Neo agent. You can run Neo agent on your own computer from where you are, and that's free. Or you can order a VPS or high frequency server placed in New York or London, and you will have a much better execution with this. So I recommend that. Also because you don't need to keep, you don't need to keep your computer online. You don't need to worry about power cuts. You don't need to worry about anything, and you get a much better performance. But it's not absolutely necessary. Like if you have an extra computer, you can use it. It's fine. All right, is there a news feature which stops the bot when heavy news will come out? Okay, my friend, listen. News are the best time to trade, okay? News are the absolute best time to trade. That's the truth. So unless, I do know that there's some prop firms that don't allow people to trade. It's a cute little trade here. Look at that. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. That's just great. Oh, sir, come on. So, we'll trade during news. The reason we trade during news is because we make a lot of money trading during news. It's a great time to trade. Does the bot trade all drives or only when it starts from one of the bands? So the first version will be pretty, will be pretty safe, right? It's only gonna trade these strong trends, these drives, and then we're gonna add, the capitulation, and we'll add the tail effect, and all the strategies separately for those. Not a problem. So MetaTrader 5 is the ideal platform for the agent. Well, MetaTrader 5 is good. It's not perfect. MetaTrader 5 has proven to be a pretty good platform, in honesty, to trade from. It's not going to be the only one. It will be the first one, but it's not going to be the only one. We're going to make integrations for, Thinkorswim. We're going to make integrations for Robinhood if we can, for Binance, for all of the different brokers around the world. Because guys, what will happen, and I know this sounds crazy, but financial markets are not going to be here in some years from now. You understand? Like this whole thing, this whole thing with financial markets is just going to stop. The reason it's going to stop is because once everyone realizes the same stuff we have realized, it will be fucking crazy to do manual trading, all right? It will be just like when we have perfect autopilot driving functionality, and it's like you go back to manual driving after you have perfected the technology for trade, automatically. So cashback trading. What will you do to prevent copy trading via brokers/accounts? Can you even? So people are welcome to use copy trading. People can use as much copy trading as they want. It's not a problem. What you have to bear in mind is when you sign up with Breakfree Trading and for Nero, you have to accept a license agreement where you will pay 10% of your profits, no matter if you generate it on 1 account, 5 accounts, 10 accounts. Whatever profit you generate from using Nero technologies, you will pay 10%. And the way it's gonna work is that we're gonna ask you, how much have you made? You're gonna put in what you made. We'll send you an invoice, 10% based on what you made. And you can deduct that, you can pay that. It's gonna be like a normal invoice. And that's, if you wanna cheat, okay, cheat, but is it worth it? Because we have anti-cheat measures, we have ways to detect people and so on. So it's like, we know, and we have a zero tolerance policy on this. So if people cheat, if you get caught doing it one time, you will be permanently banned, permanently. So I just don't think it's going to be worth it for people. But look, if you want to try and you want to try to get away with it, okay, give it a go. But it's not worth the risk. It's not worth it. So yeah, feel free to copy trade. So with prop firms, it's the same. If if you have a prop firm account and you make $1,000 profit from trading that month, 10% of the net profits is what we'll invoice you for. Okay, that's it. Will the price be the same as today? Yeah, same price. One second, guys. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Can we pay through a companion exchange? Yes, you will be able to do that in the future. If we decide to withdraw the profits from the account and pay, is there a way we can wait for Nero to close out the trade and withdraw afterwards? You know, when you're running Nero Agent, most of the time, all of the time, it's going to be in drawdown. Most of the time. And that's just how it works. So it shouldn't impact your ability to withdraw from your account or anything like that, because the risk we use is very little, very appropriate. So you can easily withdraw 10% or 20% of your account. It's not a problem. Cubas, do you want to play that game where we say a number and you give us date? Look, I would like to, but I'm a little bit squeezed work-wise on what we need to achieve. I'm a little bit squeezed, and I think it's better just to push out this next release, and everyone can just use it. All right, everyone can use it. You just need a Nero account. Look, the problem is last time, guys, when I picked these winners, I did say in the beginning of the live stream that people needed. Oh, we just hit a TV. I said that people needed a Nero subscription to, to participate. I didn't realize when I picked the winners that I picked three winners that none of them had access to Nero. So it's better we just, let us wrap this up. Let's push it out. Maybe you'll have it tomorrow. Maybe you'll have it Friday. Maybe you have it Monday. Maybe you have it Sunday or Saturday. You'll have it soon. Okay? And I think that's much better. Okay, so we just finished a nice trade here. Let's have a look. Very well. So one thing we have done extensive test on is actually how we take profits. So we used to have, and I thought it would be the best. We used to have a trailing stop loss, a take profit trailing stop loss, right? So when the market went into a certain direction, we would have the stop loss to make sure if it went back down, it would not, we would still keep some profit. We actually removed this. And the reason we have removed this is because we learned that based on the backtest, we could see that the amount of profit we're able to generate from targeting a neutral level instead of the take profit trailing stop is greater. It's actually much better. It's not only better because it's not only better because of profits, more profits. It's also better because as a long-term solution for, let's say, 10,000 people using this at the same time. If 10,000 people using this at the same time, and we're using the trailing stop loss, then it means that these small wicks, will create very high volatility from a lot of people exiting and entering trades at the same time. It's much better actually to wait for the market to come down to the neutral level and exit once the market has a little bit of strength, because if we try to exit during the take profit stop loss, and this is specifically only for the drive strategy. This is not for capitulation strategies. This is not for the tail strategy. This is specifically for the drive strategy. Specifically for the drive strategy, we can see that the profits we make when we target the neutral rather than run with a take profit stop loss is much better. It's also much more healthy for distribution in the market itself. It will allow us to impact the market less than if we did the other way around. All right, let me see if I got some messages here. Okay, questions. Ryan asked 10% on net profits, correct? Yeah, after you have paid your nil subscription and your commissions, that is being deducted from the profits. So that's correctly understood, Ryan. Have you tried backtesting on accounts with low amount? Yes, we have. It works to a degree. There's a limit. There is a certain limit that you need to pass in order for this to work. And we will clarify this before we launch it. So you don't have to worry. All right, let's see here. We will clarify the details, but if you want to make, like, one thing is running the bot, right? Another thing is making money from the bot after you paid the subscription. And if you want to do that, then you need to start around $1,250. That's like the minimum you have to start at if you want to earn back the subscription fee. So that's where you start. It's not that you can't use it with less, it's just that you're not going to be net profit in the end of the month because the capital is too small, right? Let's see. Adrian is asking, is it wise to trade manually next to the bot? Look, I understand why, you know, this is a good question. This is a good question. But in my reality, in my world, you know, we're building this as a product to replace humans trading in financial markets. Like, the goal is that you're not touching anything, like you're not trading at all. And why is that the goal? Because any time that humans does interaction with financial markets, it's a fucking disaster. Okay? Humans are so bad at trading that it should be illegal. They suck so much at this thing that it's just like we gotta fix this. We need everyone to stop trading. We need all humans in the entire world, gambling or trading or whatever, it has to stop. Because as long as people are seducted, or what can you say, as long as people are doing this, gambling, either gambling or trading like manually, it's like you become the worst person of yourself. Like, you know, you're not gonna be in the gym, you're not gonna pay attention to the family, your mind is gonna be on the money, your mind is gonna be on, is the market doing anything volatile? So I'm not gonna be able to stop you from trading manually, but, you know, guys, there's like, you will soon realize, okay, you're gonna hear more of this alien shit. You are very soon going to realize that this is nothing. It like trading and so on. I understand why it's you know, why it matters to people, because it can generate the money and it can create like a, you know, a freedom for them, and they can escape the existing life. I understand. That is the promise. The reality is that people try to seek freedom in their lives by becoming traders, and they end up digging a much bigger hole for themselves. They're getting into debt, they lose their accounts, they blow their accounts, you know, they just keep losing to this shit. So we need to fix that as a whole, okay? And by the way to fix that is to have everyone just use the agent, and they can just step back. And the best thing they can do is go out, generate some more money, and put it to the agent, let it trade with it, and then go about your life. Figure out what's important to you. Because look, once everyone raise their consciousness, once everyone raise their intelligence level around the world, it's gonna happen. You will see it happening. It's already happening. You will see it. Everyone is gonna realize that the financial market is a fucking scam, and it's just a meat grinder to kill humans financially and mentally. And it works so good. It's so good. They can legally take your money from you, and you have no fucking idea what's going on. So we gotta fix this. And you know, if we launch this bot and people still trade manually, you know, they will, and that's gonna be the real problem to solve, because for those people, it's not about, you know, there's something else wrong. There's some other core things that we need to figure out for you, that like there's some other things we need to talk about, because the agent is gonna be a million times better at trading than you. So what can you do better than the agent? I will tell you, not what you can do better, but I'll tell you what you do that you think you're better at. What you think you're better at is that you think at certain times you're going to be able to make better judgment calls than the algorithms. So when you get to the 4 hour or get to the 1 hour, you get confident and you think it's going to be a good bounce here. So you'll size up your trade, you'll size up the amount of money you're trading with, and sometimes it's going to work. You'll get like a nice big payout. But the problem is that it doesn't work long term. Because if you size up here on the 1 hour in, you know, not according to the strategy, and the market keeps pushing, you get liquidated. And if you get liquidated anywhere here before the stop loss up here, guess what you're doing? You're doing the same thing that makes us profitable. So it's not that you can't do it manually, it's just that you are not better than the bot. In any way, you're maybe 10% as good as the bot, maybe 5% in like terms of skills, and then maybe in terms of risk management, you're maybe like 1 out of 10,000 compared to the bot, right? So it's like you suck at this, but you know, accept it and go find something else to spend your time on, right? Go find something else in life, guys, because there is so much out there. You know, guys, you don't remember this, but we all chose to came to Earth to have an experience as a human soul, okay? We came here to have an experience. Before you went, you sat down with your spiritual guide, you can call it your guardian angel, whatever. You made a soul contract, okay? You made a soul contract based on what you need to experience and what you wanted to experience to grow as a person. So if you had something terrible happen to you in your life, if you had something terrible, most likely it's because you decided before you even went. But the whole point is that we are here as a short, like, you know, in a glimpse of time in this existing person and personality that you are, this current version that you are. And we're just here to have an experience and learn and grow. The way to learn and grow is not to sit in front of the screen clicking buttons. It is to go out and have, you know, experiences, memories, and so on. And you don't make memories in front of the screen, you know, clicking buttons. You don't. You do it by, you know, jump on the boat and go and catch a big fish or something like this, you know. So, like for me, when I see financial markets, what I see is a trap. I see the best casino in the world that people don't know is a casino, ripping them, you know, real time. So we need to fix that, and that's what the agent is here to do. So the reason we need to fix this is because so you can figure out what the fuck is wrong with you, and you can figure out, like, you know, why am I even spending time on trading? What is going on here? And you can refocus your attention on, you know, rather from this need of making money, but also this need of being, you know, distracted, you know, just looking in front of the screen, what's happening on the screen. You don't have to pay attention to your real life. And the only reason I can speak the truth to this is because this has been my life. So I know it. You know, you can't bullshit me. You need to wake the fuck up and realize, you know, this is not what life is about, you know. And as everyone raise their consciousness around the world, everyone is gonna realize what a fucking dumb idea it is to sit and do manual trading. Because what everyone is gonna realize is that financial markets are just entropy-based energy. Okay, it's just energy-based markets that we can perfectly measure and create trading strategies from. And once everyone realized this, they're like, oh, well, why don't we just all run the same strategy, which is what everyone is doing. Everyone is running this strategy. You just don't know it. You just don't know it. Everyone is running this strategy. So as everyone realized, okay, well, we can just all run the same strategy. What do you think happens to financial markets when 7 billion humans are all running neural agent at the same time? Basically what happens is that the financial markets cease to exist as we know them. The entire monetary system is gonna collapse. This is what you will see. All right, let me check the comments. I've been talking for like 10 minutes now, 15 minutes now, but you know, the only way to solve the need for humans to wanting to trade is to make a bot so good that is so much better than them at trading that it beats them in every single way, and they can never even imagine trading manually because the bot is so much better. Right? So that's the goal. That's the goal. Okay, let me see chat. Ryan asks, if I put 5K into my MetaTrader 5 account, my 5K investment is not considered cost. No, it's not considered cost. It's considered your, you know, your base capital. Speaking of alien, what have I discovered this past week? Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you a little bit more about what I discovered. Let me just see the risk request. Is it still 0.5%, 1% a day? Yeah, I think on the good days, you know, it depends on the volatility and the strength in the market. You can see right now today we don't have much, right? But yeah, the good days are definitely 1% a day. Okay, so let me talk some alien stuff to you. Let me tell you what I have discovered, all right? Because I have really been digging at this stuff. All right, so let me tell you what I have learned. The Big Bang was indeed like the start of a simulation. It was literally like well, you know, oh, there we go. Like the very start of this current universe and simulation that we exist in, okay? Now, based on that, everything in the universe, everything that exists, stones, animals, humans, the weather, everything, literally everything in our existence is God, okay? He made it, the creator. And that means that within us each, everyone is God experiencing this real time what we're seeing. What happens, the way this works is that across the universe, we have all these souls that originate from the original planet where they came from. So if you started on Earth, you probably started just as like a stone. Do you understand? Like just a stone, no feelings, nothing, you just existed as a stone. And then you're reincarnated again and again as a stone, and suddenly you learn the lesson of being a stone, and then you maybe upgraded to like a shell, or maybe you upgraded to like a prawn, okay? And then you keep going through life, respawning, but every time you respawn, every time you die and you respawn, you don't remember your past lives until you die. When you die, you remember all of your past lives and the current one you have had, and then you respawn again. And each time it's to teach a lesson, and each time it is to learn something from the last life. It's just that you make this contract before you even go back to having a new life. And if you don't learn what you need to learn, you go back, you do it again and again and again. And it takes as long as it needs to take. And eventually you upgrade from a prawn to a cat, and then from a cat to a dog. And then from a, you know, once you live 1,000 lives as a cat and you've been run over like 1,000 times by a car, and you've finally learned not to be run over, or whatever you needed to learn in that life, then you upgrade it to another animal. Then eventually you make it to a human. And then you're respawned as a human again and again. And that's why sometimes some people just seem so like blank. You know, it's just like they don't have a lot of experience inside of them. They haven't learned a lot. And that's because they're still just figuring out like the basics in life. And then there's other humans that, not necessarily humans, but other souls from other planets that has reincarnated many times for millions of years. Okay, so they have maybe done 1,000 lives on Earth as a human or something like that. Like they have very deep intuition and experience from these past lives. So that is how it works. Now, how does it work with all the evil shit? I'll tell you. Because this really took me some time to figure out. I was really trying to understand. Well, so what? You can just spawn and you can just go do evil shit and nothing happens? No. The way it works is that you accumulate karma points. So everything you do in your life, all the positive stuff that you impact people with, is all something you're gonna experience when you die. When you die, and they talk about this flashing, this light tunnel, and that they see the light flashing in front of it. Yes, that's exactly what it is. What's happening is that you're seeing your whole life, how you impacted people, how you make them feel, both in good and bad. So let's say you killed 10 people. You will have the full experience of the pain from each individual that you have killed. So if you have killed 1,000 people, with some very bad shit, right? Like, I don't know, bad stuff, or 10,000 people, you will have to experience, before you can go to heaven and reincarnate, you will have to experience 10,000 lifetimes of pain that you caused those people. And that's really beautiful. I think that's really great. So that's why, God never tortures souls eternally. That would be cruel, but he does make sure that they get every bit that they have deserved. So you go through life, you impact people good and bad, and at the end of your life, you are the one who judge yourself on how you lived your life according to what you were supposed to, what you're supposed to do in your soul contract, what you're supposed to achieve. And if you keep coming back and doing evil stuff, eventually you're gonna learn. Eventually. There's also some cases where people are, just mean, and they need to be taught a lesson. Sometimes you see people born in like really handicapped states, like they can't walk or can't even talk, or they're just like a very miserable life. And you ask yourself, why does that happen? Some of these people that's being reincarnated these ways in these bad existences is because they have done some very evil shit in the past, and they need to be taught a lesson. And even though maybe like 80 years on Earth seem like a long lesson to be stuck in a handicapped body that can't go anywhere, it all happens because 80 years on Earth is nothing compared to the grand scheme of life, of light itself and the universe, right? Like 80 years on Earth or 100 years on Earth, it's just like a blink of an eye compared to your actual lifetime, which is millions of years. So it is literally just like a very, very short experience that you get on Earth, okay? Before you go, you get to decide how you want to spawn, what kind of race you want to spawn, all these kind of different things that all suits with how your goal needs to grow as a person. So that's pretty much it. As you die, you just come back to yourself. You remember all of your past lives. You remember this specific life as well. You can choose to, after you have gone through your karma period and experienced the pain and the pleasure of how you impacted people, you can choose to stay in heaven, chill for a bit, or you can choose to respawn and come back and have another experience. So that is that's some of my latest intel. I think it makes really good sense. I think it makes, for me, it makes really good sense. Now there is special stuff happening right now. I'll tell you more about this on the next live stream. But overall, yeah, like you're here to live a good moral life, be a good person. As long as you do that, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fine. So yeah, guys, any other questions? It looks like my screen is stuck for some reason. Huh. Strange. Uh-huh. How do I fix this? Okay, there we go. All right. Well, I hope I didn't kill too many people with the religious stuff. But honestly, I think it's beautiful. You know, I really looked at this for a long time. I looked at all the religion stuff. You know, first I thought I was a Jew, and then I just kept digging, and I was like, wait. I was like, wait. What came before Judaism? What came before this stuff? Like, where did these guys get their scriptures from? And then I looked, and I just kept looking, and I just kept reading. And yeah, it's amazing what you find when you keep digging. When you keep digging and you really learn the truth, it's like, wow, it's mind blowing. It's really, it's almost like the Truman Show, you know. Ryan says he would like a comparison. Yeah, but we can't do that right now. And the reason we can't do that now is because it's a different strategy that we're executing this week compared to last week. It's not the same strategy anymore because now it has been divided into tail, capitulation, drive, capitulation, tail. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes left of live stream tonight. Get your last questions in. Let me know your thoughts. I am very excited to push this out for you guys. I really think we need to just, like, hey, we need to make money. Yes, the bot will do this, but we also just need to forget about manual trading. Like, it has to stop. Okay, I know it's tempting and so on, even when you have the bot, but it has to stop. You know, life becomes so much better when you have the bot trading for you, and you can just go about your business. You can fall asleep. You don't have to worry about being liquidated overnight. You don't have to worry about, you know, missing trades. You don't have to worry about all of these things that usually impacts us in trading. It's just like set and forget. Just let it do its thing, and you'll be fine. You can see here, you know, we have a good example here on Euro CHF. You know, the technology that we're working on right now is to make sure that after we have a drive like this, that we stop trading it before it bounces. And you know, like, imagine there's a big candle here. We don't want to get stuck here. This is one of the hardest challenges to fix, is, you know, making sure we have a universal strategy that works for all the markets, that makes sure that when this market bounces, we don't get stuck in the trades here. It's hard. It's surprisingly hard. All right. So, You know, the hard thing is, figuring out, when is the trend, the long-term trend over, right? Like, as you can see here on GBP USD, it has been doing some really nice drives while it's still been keeping the trend intact. Just because we have a drive here doesn't mean that the following tail is going to be strong enough to kill the entire trend. And figuring this out for each market so it works, dynamically. Yeah, it's not that easy, but I think we have a good approach. Now. Look, the first version, guys, of Neural Agent is of course not going to be perfect, right? It's going to be a huge leap in many ways, but there will be so much work for us to keep, to follow up on. So. Paulo asks, is drawdown suitable for prop firms? Yes. Yes, it will be. But you will not be able to do manual trades at the same time. You gotta let the agent, you gotta let the bot do all of it for you. If you try to do manual trades at the same time, you're gonna screw up the risk. But yeah, it was a pretty good trade we had here on EuroCHF. Okay, well, I think, guys, next week is gonna be a very good week for everyone. I think everyone will be happy. And yeah, thanks for coming to the live stream tonight, guys. It's been, it's really nice to see all the support and all the happy people and all the excited people. I'm sorry if I don't respond to all your messages. I'm getting a lot of messages. And I'm struggling a little bit to keep up with them, but don't take any ill or offense because of that. It's just I'm not the greatest communicator in text. I'm really not. So my girlfriend can testify to that. So yeah, thanks for coming to the live stream, guys. I'm happy to see you all so excited. So am I. Yeah, keep an eye out about all this alien stuff. As always, make sure you research ancient Sumerian history. Okay? It's very important to keep yourself educated. It's very important to learn about our past, about the real history of humanity. So yeah, if you don't know what to do and you're waiting for Neural Agent, go read ancient Sumerian history. All right, guys, thank you for coming to the live stream. I'll see you next week.